Welcome to our city, and here's what's going on this week around our city. On Tuesday, June 28th at 10 a.m., Mayor Bowles will join Glimcher Realty as they unveil its first solar panel of the largest single rooftop solar systems in North America at Jersey Gardens, New Jersey's largest outlet mall. The 4.8 megawatt solar array will generate enough power to offset 11% of the electrical consumption of the mall. Local dignitaries, partners, and guests will be in attendance as they cut the ribbon on the first 15,000 solar panels. Scheduled speakers include Michael Glimcher, CEO of Glimcher Realty Trust, Mayor Bowles, and John Conley of SunPower Corporation. Following that event at 11 a.m., Mayor Bowles will attend the opening ceremony of the Elizabeth Avenue's 9th annual Farmers Market. The market will be held every Tuesday from now until November from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., selling homegrown, hand-picked, and Jersey fresh produce at Union Square, which is located on Elizabeth Avenue. This year's new vendors such as the Belleville Baker, Paul's Gourmet Foods, and Fernandez Ices will be joining them. Just in case you missed last week's show, we just want to remind you that around 2 a.m., the Secretary of Agriculture, 2 p.m., the Secretary of Agriculture, Doug Fisher, is scheduled to stop by. For more information, please contact Dave Strochek at 908-965-0660. Just a reminder that on July 4th, the City of Elizabeth will hold their annual fireworks display at the Veterans Memorial Waterfront Park, located on Front Street and Elizabeth Avenue. The fireworks will kick off at 8:45 p.m. If you need more information concerning this or any other events this week, please call the Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And joining me this week from the Chamber of Commerce, the Executive Director of the Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce is Mr. Gordon Haas. Welcome, Gordon.
Thanks, Alonzo. Thanks for having me on the program this week.
My pleasure. Gordon, you've been an asset here to the city, and you've been working greatly with the Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce. How long has the Chamber been in existence?
We were founded in January of 1997, so that makes us 15 years old.
Now, when we talk about the Chamber, exactly how did the Chamber get started?
It's a very interesting story. I was working for a company here in Elizabeth that had a building here in town, and I was marketing for the building. I had a corporation marketing company, and I was the marketing person for that building. And as one of my tasks working for this corporation, I was member of the then Union County Chamber of Commerce. And at that group, we would have a monthly meeting. I met then Library Director Joe Keenan, now the City Council President, and he and I talked about founding or trying to establish a Chamber of Commerce here in town to benefit our local businesses. And we sat together, as Joe likes to tell it, one Sunday morning at my house over bagels and lox, and decided that we would give it a try. I had been doing some consulting work at that point in time, had met a lot of the business people here in town, and as a result, we called a group of people together. We met on Christmas Eve in 1996 at IKEA for a breakfast. The 35 people that attended all said that they would be interested in joining a local chamber, and we started that chamber. I believe it was January 6th, 1997.
Now, when you talk about the longevity of the chamber and everything, what's the importance of having a chamber?
A chamber is obviously something that you find all over the United States. Chamber's main function, if I had to boil it down to one word, is we're matchmakers. We help businesses meet other businesses that can benefit each other. I always recall at that first breakfast in 1996, I was sitting at a table with two gentlemen whose businesses were located in the same building in Elizabeth who had never met each other. Wow. By the time breakfast was over, they were discussing a deal that was worth several $1 million. So the advantage of what a chamber does is we have monthly events. Many of them are what are called business after hours networkers. We usually select some of the finer restaurants that we'll be talking about later in the second portion of the show. Some of the restaurants provide us with a place to hold these networkers. People come in, they sample the restaurant's food. There are happy hour libations available. And people exchange business cards. They meet. You know, today's economy, trying to get into somebody you've never met before is very difficult. But if you've met somebody face to face, that next attempt at reaching them in their office is a lot easier. True. And that's basically what we do. I mean, we do have other events during the course of the year. We usually have the honor of having the mayor address our group in January to talk about the state of the city. The mayor gives that address at City Hall on New Year's Day, and the business people aren't coming out on New Year's Day, so we established that about 14 years ago, and that's a very successful event that we have. We also take part in the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce's annual Walk to Washington, which again is a great networking event because you're on a train with somebody for 4 hours, people that you would never get to see without meeting them first on the train. And then we go down to Washington and listen to our legislators, our federal officials and our state officials speak, and there's a lot more networking that goes on during the course of the evening. But basically our job is to create the opportunity for business people to get to meet other business people. And I think we've been rather successful at it because our membership continues to grow from year to year.
So it sounds like a very successful chamber.
We are one of the 25 largest chambers in the state of New Jersey, probably one of the youngest on that list. Elizabeth is a place where, because of its proximity to Newark Airport, because of its proximity to the Elizabeth Port, and because of all the support businesses here in town for those two locations, plus all our hotels, Jersey Gardens Mall, we have a very strong base. Elizabeth Avenue Partnership, the historic Midtown Business District, we have a very strong base of businesses in our chamber. But we also have the philosophy that if you do business in Elizabeth, whether you're headquartered in Elizabeth or not, you should be a member of our chamber. And we have a lot of business that fit in that category, as well as a very large group of social service agencies that are members, local charitable organizations that have gotten benefit from being members of our chamber by meeting some of the business people that can help them grow their organizations. So it's been an interesting 15 years.
And as you were talking, I was taking a mental walk through Elizabeth. There's a lot of businesses here. As president and CEO, what is your job?
Well, my job now has grown from what it was originally. When I first started the chamber, my job was marketing, membership, running events. I now have a membership director, events director, Myra Santana, who's been on this program in the past. Myra's job now is exclusively to go out, to meet the new members, to meet with the existing members, to help with renewals, to help with new membership. And she's been, this is something new we've done since the beginning of the year, and it's been very successful. I also have a staff member now, full-time staff member, Lori Paola, who's Paolella, who is in the office all the time, so that we have an administrative assistant that can sort of hold down the fort. My job has grown. I mean, I'm involved in lots of partnerships outside the city. The Convention and Visitors Bureau, which was an idea that came about 6 years ago between myself and my counterpart in Newark, Chip Halleck, who's the head of the Regional Business Partnership. We came up with the idea that having an airport sitting 50-50 between Newark and Elizabeth are a source of having lots of hotels. Newark had a museum at that point. They had the Performing Arts Center, the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, obviously the Rock, Prudential Center, and we've worked very hard with those organizations trying to bring business, which benefits our hotels. The NCAA event, which took place in March, we were very fortunate to be chosen for the round of 16 and the round of 8. And our hotels were full. Between Elizabeth and Newark, there wasn't a hotel room to be had. As a matter of fact, we heard that some of the spillover went as far as Jersey City. It was a busy weekend because the Meadowlands at that time had a major soccer tournament going on too. So bringing these kind of events, the NBA draft is coming, has come to the Prudential Center. There is an event coming in October, international women's jurists, judges from all over the world that we've attracted to come to Newark for a meeting. And that's the job of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. So I'm very much involved in there. I'm on the advisory board. We're looking at long-term financing for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. We've been very fortunate till now of having what the state calls DMO grants that have kept us going, and we're applying for the next year's allocation. We've also been very fortunate that both Newark and Elizabeth filed what was the first joint UEZ grant application for the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and that grant is coming to an end, but we hope to continue that, and we're looking to get some long sustaining grant applications for that, because we are a tourist destination. People shop when they come for tourism, and our Jersey Gardens Mall last year did about 20 million visitors, wow, about a quarter of whom came from Europe to shop in Jersey Gardens, which was an amazing statistic.
Well, we're going to take a break, Gordon, and we're going to come back and talk some more about the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce and the great things happening there.
Thank you.
We'll be back with the second half of Our City after these words. Thank you.